Hello, this is Bill Henning. Thank you for your interest in this GeoLearn session on real-time GNSS positioning. This session will deal with single base versus real-time network positioning. Goals for this will be an overview of the networks. We'll look at the guidelines that NGS is developing, still in draft form, for real-time networks. We'll talk a little bit about RTCM support for real-time networks. We'll look at how the NGS recommended way to put coordinates on the reference stations in a real-time network. Understand that everything is moving. We'll look at we'll look at two different kinds of real-time networks. And we'll take a quick look at static versus real-time network. Also, we'll look at NGS's idea to help validate the real-time network so we think we're getting the right answer from them. And then look at something coming around, something emerging for a higher accuracy than it used to be, at precise point positioning. So there's a lot of different methods for real-time positioning, for static positioning, for any kind of positioning involved with global navigation satellite systems. There's a lot of different costs involved with them, a lot of different precisions involved with them. Let's take a quick look at a couple of them. Satellite-based augmentation systems like WAS in the United States don't give you a very good accuracy or precision. They're relatively cheap. Commercial differential GPS maybe is a little bit better, but still a couple decimeters maybe. Not overly expensive. We'll talk about this precise point positioning a little bit later, but the accuracies are starting to get pretty good, pretty attractive to surveyors and engineers. 3 to 5 centimeters. The problem maybe is dealing with the initialization time. So manufacturers are working hard on that. There's the old warhorse of the Coast Guard beacons, still operated from differential GPS stations around the country. Maybe a meter or so, cheap, but maybe good for GIS. Differential leveling is the standard for precision in verticals, but that takes a lot of work and time and money and expense and expertise. Geodetic leveling, user base, real time, pretty good accuracies. The thing about real time single base is that you're going to need 2 sets of equipment, right? You're going to need a base station and you're going to need a rover. So nothing wrong with that, but you're only going to go 3 to 5 miles with UHF radios. You can go further with data modems or cell technology. So I think the real bang for the buck currently is in a real-time network. It gives you very good accuracy horizontally. You can work around any kind of lack of that vertically. And really it requires half the investment of single base real-time. So it's a very attractive solution for a lot of surveying and engineering companies. LiDAR, satellite imagery, probably GIS grade, photogrammetry, aerial mapping, pretty good precision, but usually not good enough for surveying. An attractive technology coming around this low altitude aerial imagery, unmanned airborne systems. Dr. Joe Paiva talks about this sort of thing in a GeoLearn session. I would recommend that you watch that one. It's a very upcoming tool for surveyors, engineers, and others to use for site, to get data from a site. So it's very interesting. Terrestrial laser scanning. A lot of companies have the laser scanners now. It's a great way to do it. It takes a little bit of learning to really do it to best benefit. There's also mobile mapping systems where you'll have a van drive down the road and scan the image on both sides to a few centimeters. Obviously it doesn't pick up everything, inverts and things like that, but you can cover a lot of ground riding down the road. Precision-wise, real-time networks have a really good place. Another thing to remember about a real-time network is that it could provide this data at different accuracies. So it can provide differential or decimeter level as well as centimeter level positioning.